Okay, dear students, let's start another, I would say, class. So far in taxation, we have completed till partnership. In the previous lecture, we have completed partnership in taxation English as well as in taxation Urdu. In today's class, what exactly we are going to cover? In today's class, we'll be doing the multiple choice questions on, I would say, trading losses. Plus, there will be a little bit, I would say, revision and MCQs on NIC, National Insurance Contribution. Even though every one of us knows that very well, that all the NICs, National Insurance Contribution limits, they will be given to you in exam. Still, we will be having a little bit revision on that topic, and plus we'll be attempting the question on that area, which is NIC. Plus, within this class, there will be few questions which I'm not going to solve. I will leave those questions for you. You can take it as your first test of taxation. You have to attempt those questions. After attempting those questions, you should refer to the answers from the latest Kaplan kit. Let's say you have attempted those questions, which I'm not going to solve in this class. I will tell you. I will mention those questions. Let's say you have attempted those questions and then you have seen the answers as well. Step 1, attempt the questions. Step 2, check your answers from the Kaplan kit. Step 3, if you still have any confusion, if you still have any queries, you can always contact me in your relevant WhatsApp groups. But this is your first, in this class, the first test will be included. So I want every one of you that you should attempt that test. Students, let me make one thing very clear for you. All you need is follow the instructions. If you are going to follow the instruction, I can guarantee you, you are going to get really good marks and you're going to pass the paper in the first attempt, inshallah. But for that, you have to follow the instruction. And plus, you have to simply pull out yourself from the comfort zone. Because in comfort zone, nothing grows. Your growth, your career growth is not in your comfort zone. As soon as you will become comfortable in an uncomfort situation, then you are going to achieve a lot. But if you want to achieve each and everything in a comfort zone, then you will be having a serious troubles. So try to become comfortable in an uncomfort zone if you really want to achieve something great in your life, which I'm sure every one of you really want, I would say, want to achieve. So make sure that from here onwards, you need to follow all the instructions. Let's start. Of course, we will not be only solving the MCQs. While I'll be attempting these MCQs for you, I will give you the revision also relating to that area. Let's see. Question 47. Topic is trading losses. What is the maximum loss relief claim which Naomi, let me call it Nomi, can make against her total income for the tax year 24-25? First of all, student, before rushing to the question, I would say before rushing to the answering the question, first you should try to understand what exactly examiner is asking you. They're asking you the maximum loss relief which Nomi can make against her total income for the previous tax year, which is 24-25. Let's see. Nomi is self-employed, fine. For the tax year 5th April 2026, she made a trading loss. She's having a trading loss of 1,10,000. Having made a trading profit 24,000 for the 5th April, year ended 5th April 2025. In the previous tax year, which is 24-25, she made a tax adjusted trading profit of 24,000. In the current year, she made the loss of 1,10,000. Now let me tell you one thing. Some of the students, while solving this question in exam, I would say some of the students, they will be making one mistake here, which is very few students will make that mistake, but still few students will definitely make that mistake. And that mistake would be unable to recognize the appropriate tax year. Look at this, how examiner is smartly, I would say, organized this question. For the year ended 5th April 2026, if the year is ending on 5th April 2026, so every one of you should know that tax year actually starts from 6th April 2025, ends on 5th April 2026. So this is your current tax year 25-26. And obviously in the previous tax year, she made a profit. In the current tax year, there's a loss. Fine. Nomi has also employment income of 94,000 in the previous tax year, which is 92. Great. Employment income. Now let me read the requirement again for you. Examiner is asking us how much maximum Nomi can set off the loss against the total income of previous tax year. Now listen to me carefully. Whenever we are setting off the loss against the total income, don't forget the restriction. Restriction says you can maximum set off against the total income greater of £50,000 and 25% of adjusted net income. Repeat. If you recall the restriction, whenever I am going to set off the loss against the total income, there is a restriction. And the restriction says you can maximum set off the loss, which is greater of £50,000 and 25% of adjusted net income, whichever is higher. Now let me tell you one more area where a student, they make mistake, and another very, I would say, critical, reason of failure in taxation. I said twice, if I'm not wrong, that the restriction is greater of £50,000 and 25% of adjusted net income, whichever is higher. Majority of the students, they are unable to recall the format of ANI, adjusted net income. If you are one of them, then it is, I would say, bit alarming sign. We do have a time for exams. You do have a time for the preparation. But if you are still unable to recall the format of adjusted net income, so that is going to create a problem in exams. So students, this is another, I would say, reason of failure, that students are unable to recall rules of taxation at a relevant time. If you are unable to recall the relevant rules, then obviously you will end up by getting very low marks, undesirable marks, I would say, rather than low marks. So you will end up by getting undesirable marks. And every one of us is after getting a desirable marks. And a very little desire is at least get 50. Anything over and above 50, we are more than happy. But in order to be at least happy, we need 50 marks. So desirable marks are at least 50. More than that, every mark more than that is welcome. Less than that is not welcome at all. Now let me tell you, if you recall the format of ANI, adjusted net income, so the format is net income less gross personal pension contribution less gross gifted donation. Then you get ANI. One more thing, that restriction applies on all the incomes other than trading profit. That restriction does not apply on trading profit, which means that in the previous year, Nomi is having employment income of 92,000. On this employment income, I will apply the restriction. Due to the restriction on other income, I can maximum deduct 50,000. But this restriction applies on logically only on employment income, because in this question, NOMI does not have any other income. So 50,000 is because of the restriction, and restriction does not apply on trading profit, which means 24,000 as it is. So the maximum loss which NOMI can set off in the previous tax year total income is 74,000. So the answer is A. But let me tell you one thing. There are a number of reasons why do students they fail in taxation. I would say one of them is a very major reason of failure in taxation is when you are unable to recall the rules. And now the question is, sir, how to recall the relevant rules at relevant place? It needs practice. That is why, student, you might have noticed whenever we are attempting, I would say, kit questions, we directly don't solve that question. I try my best to give you the sort of recap relating to that question. So the answer is 74,000. Okay, now let's go to the next question. What is Brooks' net income for the tax year 25-26? Assuming she carries trading loss forward. Stop. She carries trading loss forward. First of all, student, whenever you carry forward the loss, carry forward losses are always deducted against the future trading profit from the same trade. Plus, when I carry forward the trading loss, which is obviously not a desirable option, technically it's not a desirable option, because whenever I carry forward losses, then don't forget, when you carry forward loss, it means you will be deducting the loss against the trading profit of future, and future is itself uncertain. But right now here, obviously, we'll be focusing on the question. The question says, what is her name? Brooks carry forwards the loss. Now listen. The rule says when you carry forward the loss, then you have to utilize the loss against the first available future trading profit. No matter it is a large amount or a small amount, but you have to utilize the loss against, you will start utilizing the trading loss, take it like that, against the first available future trading profit. Now read the requirement again, then I'll go to the question. What is a Brooks net income for the tax year 25-26, assuming she carries the trading loss forward? Okay. Brooke had been trading profitably as a sole trader for many years. However, in the year ended March 2025, if the year ending on March 25, it means the tax year is 24-25. She made a loss of 24,000. So she made a loss in the tax year 24-25. Okay, now some of the student, I would say, they are just how would I explain? Some of the students, they're just master of confusing themselves. How? Every one of us knows very well that tax year starts from 6th April 2000 of any year, ends on next 5th April of the next year. Here your examiner has written 31st March 2024. It is perfectly all right. No issue at all. Obviously, when the year is ending on 31st March 25, so that date does fall in the tax year 24-25. It does not mean while sitting in examination hall, when your examiner says the year is ending on 31st March 25 and you just start, I would say, you just start doubting on your examiner that why he's not writing 5th April, why he's writing 31st March. It's perfectly fine. Even he writes 31st March, it's perfectly okay, no issue at all. All you need is you should be able to solve the question rather than taking out, I would say, technical errors in the question. So if your examiner says 31st March, we are okay with that. So in the previous tax year, Brooke made a trading loss of 65,000. Brooke has the following income in the tax year 25-26. Trading profit for the year ended March 26 means the tax year 25-26. There's a trading profit of 12,000. So first of all, brought forward loss will be utilized against this 12,000. Because when you carry forward the loss, then you have to utilize the loss against the first available trading profit from the same trade, obviously. Dividend income is 9,000. Property income is 4. National saving investment, simply saving certificate interest. When when examiner says national saving and investment, but then he says savings certificate interest. So whatever interest income is coming from NSI, this is exempt. So exempt income will not be a part of net income. Logically, in the tax year 25-26, 12,000 trading profit is set up against the loss. So means 12,000 profit, 12,000 loss becomes 0. Dividend income is 9. Property income is 4. So it means your net income in the next year, which is 25-26, is just 13,000. Why I'm not taking, why 1,000 is not a part of net income? Basically, this 1,000 is an exempt income. Logically, exempt income will not be a part of your net income. So simply, your net income for the tax year 25-26 is 13,000. Okay, fine. Question 49. What is the amount of trading loss carried forward for the tax year 26-27? Wow. Assuming that Damienti, so I would say apologies if the pronunciation is wrong. Damienti makes a claim to use the loss in the current and prior tax years. In the current and the prior tax year. All you need is just give us the amount, how much loss we will carry forward for the tax year 26-27, but how she is utilizing the losses first in the current year and the prior year. Okay. Damienti has been trading as a sole trader for many years. Her recent tax adjusted trading profit losses have been year ended 5th April 24 means 24-25. Then in the tax year 25-26, there's a loss of 90,000. Damienti also receives a bank interest 14,000 each tax year. Now listen. Tax year 24-25. Trading profit is 55,000. Interest income, saving income is 14. In the current year, there's a loss of 90,000. While solving the question, logically we do not write the amount of loss, we write 0. But there's an interest income of 14. Okay, fine. So here comes the total income 14,000. 55 plus 14, it becomes 69. Now the question says she'll be using the loss against the current year, means 14,000. We'll deduct the loss from here. Then we carry back the loss. Now listen, we know that we are deducting a loss against the total income, and whenever we are deducting the loss against the total income, you have to pay attention. You need to focus on the restriction. And the restriction says maximum loss which you can deduct against the total income is greater of 50,000 pound and 25% of ANI, whichever is higher. But as I mentioned in the very first question of today's class, this restriction does not apply on trading profit. It applies on other than trading profit. In this question, in the previous tax year, other than trading profit, we have just 14,000, which is far more less than the restriction. So entire 14 is covered. Plus trading profit is 55. On that 55, we do not have any restriction. So it means entire 69,000 loss will be deducted against the total income, which means that the loss amount in the tax year 25-26 is 90. 14 we are using in the current tax year. In the previous tax year, we'll be using 69. Whatever is left, that will be carried forward, and this is your answer. This is what examiner is asking you to do it. 90,000 is 14 minus 69. I'm getting 7,000. So students, the carry forward is 7. Now, let me tell you one more thing. Some of the students, again, they just get demotivated by even watching a lecture that how my teacher is solving. The question is, sir, by looking your lecture, why they get demotivated? Because they start thinking that why I was not able to think like my teacher, why I took so much time to solve the question, why I made so many mistakes. If you have attempted this question before watching my video, let me tell you one thing. There's no need to get demotivated. All you need is practice. Just practice. The more you will practice, the more, I would say, perfection you will get. The more better you will become, automatically will be coming in these questions. But you just need practice. Without practicing, of course, you can't do anything. So there's no need to demotivate yourself. Now the question is, you should be motivating yourself towards practicing the questions. Dear students, first of all, thank you watching this video and you have come this far. If you really want to get a proper study planner for your taxation, we can help you. Number one. Number two, we are the only institute that does not only give you the pre-recorded lectures, we also conduct your live revision classes. And we are the only institute which actually provides you two types of revision. One is topical revision, another is question-based revision. And we are the only institutes that during the live revision classes, we do conduct your test as well. Of course, the checking criteria, we explain how the students, they will be checking their test by themselves. And we are going to help you in that, I would say, checking criteria as well. Plus, we are the only institute that we actually guide you how to get the maximum benefit from ACCA pre-seen mock. And we are the only institute, we conduct your mock at least 10 to 12 days before the exam, and we give you the personalized feedback. And we are the only institute which actually gives you the best and, I would say, fastest WhatsApp support. And we are the only institute that we are not going to provide you the detailed notes only, we do provide you the short notes also. We are the only institute, if you follow our taxation notes, there's no need to go for a very, I would say, large and I would say too big Kaplan book. There's no need to go for that. Just our focus notes of around 79 pages. Those 79 pages notes can easily replace the entire book. And I'm telling you, we are the only institute, we help you in 3 different ways while tackling your queries. And we are the only institute where teacher replies the queries rather than teacher assistant. And we are the only institute, we will actually guide you in a way how to get the desirable marks. So waiting for what? Join right now and to get your desirable marks, which are at least 50. So that is all about from our side. I hope to see you and others very soon in my taxation and other courses. Thank you very much.